Welcome to Paige's Lessons, a podcast dedicated for those who seek advice and wisdom on how to become the best versions of themselves in the most authentic way. If you identify as someone who is ambitious, goal-driven, and a badass, you've come to the right place. Self-reflection, mental health awareness, and exploring life's transitions is at the heart of our conversations because I truly believe every single day provides a lesson. I'm your host, Paige Mitchell, a board-certified life coach, motivational speaker, and mental health advocate. I can't wait to share these golden nuggets with you. On today's episode of Paige's Lessons, we're going to get into what to do when you lose something near and dear to your heart. For me, this episode is about personal possessions. And in general, for the record, I don't identify as someone that's materialistic. That's something that is not really a part of my identity, is being attached to items that much. Of course, there's things, that are irreplaceable, like what I'm going to be talking about here. But for the most part, I don't really care about like purses and clothes and random shit like that. But since I am traveling abroad and this came up, I wanted to document it. I wanted to share kind of my takeaways with this and then things for you to just consider whenever you lose something maybe precious to you. So I am about, I would say, a month and a half-ish of my journey. And I was going to get ready for a photo shoot that I'm doing because I think it's really important to take pictures. I didn't even know this was a thing, but like hiring professional photographers while you're abroad, that way, you're getting the background, you're getting the actual experience without just taking selfies all the time. So anyway, I was really looking forward to this photo shoot that I'm doing. And I'm looking around for my jewelry and I can't find it anywhere. I ripped apart my whole backpack because that's all I have is just this bag, this 55-liter backpack. And I could not find my rings and my necklace. So I was freaking out. I ended up just going to the photo shoot anyway, not having any jewelry, but that's all right. I still had a good time. But when I came back, I just from top to bottom, I looked at every corner. I looked a bag within a bag within a bag, like my drawers, like where I'm staying. I dug. It looked like a fucking tornado hit my room. But I was just so upset. I was like, I can't believe I did this. I can't believe I was so irresponsible. And then just like the narrative of just being really hard on myself that I let this happen. That critique came in really loud. And then I just started to get really sad because it's like, fuck, I'm great. Like should I just accept that it's never going to turn up again? So it was just quite a wave of like scared to fuck, I'm angry at myself, I'm mad, to now I'm just really sad and like acceptance. So what happened was, I should have known in hindsight, right? Always hearing about when you travel, you don't bring precious things. You don't bring heirlooms. You don't bring things that will make you attractive to maybe someone that's going to mug you, right? You don't want flashy things. But for me, these were my everyday rings and my favorite necklace. So I was like, well, I'm going to wear them every day anyway, so who cares? But funny thing is, when I came out here to the UK, my fingers, they just swelled. I could not wear my jewelry the entire time I've been here. I don't know, just like my fingers got fat. I don't know what's going on, but just so I always had my jewelry in this little baggie. And then I wasn't really consistent of where I was putting it because every time I would kind of like go around, move from place to place. It was just different. So that was also my bad of not having like a consistent place to put my rings and jewelry. But anyway, so because I actually couldn't fit these rings on my hands, I kind of thought of that like a little message in my head, a little download came and was like, Paige, you don't need to wear these right now. Just keep them with you because this is a part of your past. That message just kind of just came up out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from, but that was just kind of like maybe. Well, I don't know about that, but sure. So these rings in particular, I kind of wanted to go over each one and kind of share with you the meaning behind it. So the first ring that I lost, I've had it since I was 17 years old, and it's my high school class ring. And it's like, Paige, why are you even wearing your class ring? You're 32 years old. And it's like, because it just represents my old self in my hometown. So my class ring, it was just really a cool design as well. It had my birthstone, which was really pretty. And then around it had the name of the high school. It had my mascot, which is a demon. Yes, my high school mascot was a demon. And it had also ballet slippers because I was on my dance team. So it was just very representative of those 4 years. And also just me living in Golden, Colorado. And it was also engraved my initials inside of the ring. So just very unique to Paige. And every time I looked at it on my finger, I was like, aw, that's old Paige, who was kind of insecure, really didn't know who she was, but she was having fun anyway, right? The second ring that I'm super bummed is my ring that I received from my mom and my dad when I was 15 years old on my birthday. And inside the ring was engraved, "Love, Mom and Dad," which is really hard to let that go. But the cool part of this ring, it was silver and it had the Hawaiian hibiscus on it around the band. And then it had in letters Peiki, which is my Paige in Hawaiian. And that's where I was born, was Hawaii. So it was also just like a connection to my parents. And even though I do not have any Hawaiian blood or ancestry, it's just I was born there. So I just have a very strong, deep connection with the island and Oahu specifically. And so every time I looked at that on my finger, I was like, this is my Hawaiian roots, if you will. Again, not saying I am at all native at all. It's just I have a connection that it's special. Hawaii is special to me. And lastly, the third ring was a really cute, just very simple, thin silver band. And then it had a stone that I don't even know what this stone is called. It was like a mix of green and turquoise. It was so beautiful. And I got complimented on it all the time because it was just a very unique color. And that ring I got in London. That was the very first time I went to London. And so that was a reminder of like, yeah, she travels, she goes, she does the things, like she finally went abroad, right? So that was back in 2018. So a little bit newer ring, but I love that ring so much. And then I also, with that little baggie of my rings, I had my necklace, which is a jade stone. And it is an oval shape, and you can probably see it in multiple pictures that I have on social media. But I received that ring from my ex's sister because I was with him for 11 years. And so I've known his sister for a very long time as well. So she gave me that ring or that necklace when I decided to move to Hawaii and finish my grad program. And that was the first time I moved out of Colorado on my own. And she gave me that necklace and she's like, I've had this for a while. It brought me good luck. I'm giving it to you. And it was just really special. And, I wore that necklace all the time. It had a nice gold chain. I got compliments all the time for that necklace. And I'm super bummed because it was just very special and it did bring me a lot of luck over the years. So all of those items are now gone. I have this acceptance. And although I was very, very, very sad, I even posted on social media, hey, on a story, right? And I put a poll and I said, hey, Any words of encouragement for me? I just lost my irreplaceable jewelry. I'm grieving hard. Can I hear some love, please? And I just wanted to read some of the messages that came up on my feed. So first one said, maybe the universe is making room for something new. I loved that so much because it was just like this principle of out with the old, on with the new. And it's true because all of those items were a part of my past, and particularly Paige, who was a people pleaser, Paige, who was a perfectionist, and where the self-critique was non-fucking stop. And there was another comment as well along the same lines of newness, but it was like someone said, it served you, that jewelry served you as long as it was supposed to on your journey. Newness is coming. So to have a couple people talk about newness really made it, I just felt really inspired. I felt like, oh my God, that's so true. Like that really like put me back in my spirits. Some other comments from that poll, people said, they were like, it's only material, right? It's just an object, and maybe when you travel, you can buy new jewelry along the way. And it's true. At the end of the day, things are just things. I'm not taking these materials on when I die. So it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but I do like that idea of like every time I'm in either a new country or some place is really special, getting a piece of jewelry like art, you know, and like some people get tattoos for a new place they've been to. I've also considered that as well. But yeah, that jewelry can also just be a part of your story. And some other comments as well, like one said, you might still find it at the end of the day and it might pop up. And as hopeful as that was and very kind, it's like I've kind of already have acceptance that I'm moving on from my old life. I'm moving on and I don't need to tie to the past anymore. And a really cute comment was like, the jewelry sensed it wasn't needed anymore. And I thought that was cute too. It's like the jewelry had its own spirit. The jewelry had its own mind of its own, that it's okay, Paige, we're okay, you're okay, off to new things. So I know this is kind of silly, you know, personifying, right? Putting materials with emotions and things like that. But that it's just something I wanted to share with you. And I don't know if you've ever lost something like an item that's really important, maybe something you've had since you were a baby, or a gift, right? That maybe your grandma gave you and now it's forever gone and you can never find it, and just kind of like processing that grief. But for me, these rings and that jewelry, that necklace, all of those together combined really was old Paige. Not only could I not actually put it on my fingers anymore, like physically, but it's okay for it to be removed, and I'm okay to move on. I'm okay to embark on this new journey as a 32-year-old woman. Obviously, more jewelry is going to come my way. It's not even about that. It's just taking this as a sign that I'm capable of more than I think I am. I think this, you know, this traveling obviously puts me out of my comfort zone. That was the main reason why I wanted to do this. And losing something like jewelry, losing something that I've tied so many stories to, that's just an ultimate lesson right there of like, how are you going to overcome this? Are you going to like cry about this for weeks? Or are we going to move on? And I think I've spent enough time processing and sharing with you on this episode of kind of that overcoming the things that are really important to me. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, there's still things, and I have me. That's all I have. I have me at the end of the day, and it's self-love all the fucking way. So I encourage you to either a few things, right? A few lessons you could take away from this. Number one, next time you're traveling, maybe don't bring your most precious item. So learn from my mistake. if you do, make sure you are putting it in a place where it's very consistent and you always know where it will be. And then also, like, what is your relationship with material items? Do you also tie stories or emotions to specific materials? What's that about for you? Is that helpful? Is it hurting you? Is it healing? Just something to think about is your possessions. And, traveling for 6 months with just a backpack, I had to let go of a lot of possessions. I donated a lot of things to Goodwill. I really didn't sell anything. It either went to the trash or it went to a donation. And then the rest I just put in a tiny storage unit in California. So learning to let go is forever a process and forever a journey. But here I am, we're moving on, and it's on to the next. I'll see you in the next episode. If you're enjoying these episodes and walking away feeling more motivated and inspired, then you would be a great fit for my coaching community. Every Wednesday, I create a newsletter that's designed just for badasses like you to overcome any hurdles that are getting in the way from creating the life you want to live. Each week, you'll receive my favorite strategies and best tips for strengthening your lifestyle habits, overcoming limiting beliefs, and learn how to set measurable goals toward a life that supports your values. If this sounds like a good fit that you want to subscribe to, click the link in the show notes to opt in, and I'll see you on the other side. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media or head over to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Subscribing and posting a review helps to improve engagement and is essential for the podcast to be discovered by new listeners. Thanks again for listening, and remember, every day provides a lesson. Take care.